In this video, we're gonna be going over the top 3 best M4 class setups to use right now here in Modern Warfare 2. This is one of the most popular assault rifles, and it is a monster when you have the right setup equipped. So with all being said, the like goal in this video is going to be 400 likes, and if you guys want to stay up to date with any and all best class setups, best settings, tips and tricks, or any new updates that do go live here in Modern Warfare 2, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and also turn those post notifications. Let me know down in the comment section right now, what is your favorite assault rifle to use in order to get as many kills as possible. So, firstly, we're going to take a look at a max damage M4 class setup. Now, none of these class setups require a tune, which is going to be perfect because weapon tuning is currently disabled here in Modern Warfare 2, so don't worry about that. Now, we're going to start off with the rear grip for the setup, and we are going to run the Phantom grip for the max damage M4. This is going to be perfect because we're going to have sprint to fire speed as well as aim down sight speed, so you guys can take enemies out very easily at close to medium ranges. This is going to be a perfect class setup if you guys are aggressive players yet still want to be able to take people out very quickly at longer ranges. The cons are going to be completely irrelevant because we are running some other attachments on this build that are going to counteract this. So all we're going to have is positives in order to bump up the handling. So we're going to go ahead and run the Phantom grip. Now, for the stock, we are going to put on the Tempest P80 Strike stock. This is overall going to bump up the handling even more, making this weapon an absolute monster at those medium and longer ranges. We're going to have sprint speed, aim walking movement speed, crouch movement speed, as well as aim down sight speed. Now, you might be wondering, how is this going to help us out at those medium to longer ranges? Well, we're going to be able to go ahead and maneuver around the map a little bit easier. We're going to be able to snap on the players a lot faster. And because of the sticky aim assist in this game, we're going to be taking people out so fast, they're not going to have any time to react. Now, the cons, again, are going to be completely irrelevant because we have a bunch of other attachments on this class setup that are going to counteract all this. So if you guys want to have a max damage M4 build, make sure you guys go ahead and put on the Tempest P80 Strike stock. Now, we're not going to run an optic here because this build is going to be suited for the iron sights. It's going to have very little recoil and super easy to run. And honestly, none of these attachments on this category is going to help us out when going ahead and creating this build. Now, for the laser, we're also going to skip over this. We're not going to run a laser here because none of these attachments are going to help us out in the long run. Now, we are going to run a barrel, and we are going to put on the High Tower 20-inch barrel. This barrel is going to be a monster if you guys are looking for a very fast killing M4 at longer ranges. We have a bunch of pros that are going to significantly help us out here. We have bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, as well as hip fire accuracy. So overall, we're getting a best of all worlds here: close range, medium range, as well as long range. And those cons you see on the barrel, we went ahead and kind of picked up all those when we ran a stock and a rear grip on this weapon. So this class setup goes hand in hand. Whatever we're technically taking away on the M4, we're going to go ahead and replace it with other attachments. So make sure you guys go ahead and throw on the High Tower when you're building this setup. Now, for the muzzle, we are going to rock this weapon loud and proud. This is in order to get the fastest killing, the highest damage M4 build. And we are going to go ahead and run the F-Tac Castle comp. We want to go ahead and reduce the recoil as much as we can, yet still giving out a high damage output. We're going to have vertical recoil control as well as horizontal recoil control. A fantastic attachment on this assault rifle to take people out incredibly easy and fast at those medium to longer ranges. So make sure you guys go ahead and have the F-Tac Castle comp when you guys go ahead and build your M4 setup. And then finally, for the underbarrel under this class setup, we are going to go ahead and put on the Demo IMP44 grip. This is overall going to smooth out that recoil pattern, making this weapon incredibly easy to use. Now, we're going to have aim idle stability, hip fire accuracy, as well as recoil stabilization. We're getting literally the best of both worlds here, man. We have close range, medium range, and long range capabilities that are going to be bumped up with this attachment, and the cons are going to be irrelevant because of the stock and the rear grip that we are going to run. So make sure you guys go ahead and have this on your setup. Overall, a nasty M4 build that's going to have max damage, but still be able to pack a punch at any and all ranges. Now, random setup is going to be the Vel. For my secondary, I have on the stun grenade, proximity mine, and I'm running the assault package with overkill scavenger hardline as well as quick fix. And my field upgrade is going to be the munitions box. Now, we're going to be taking a look at a no recoil M4 class setup. This is perfect if you guys are trying to go for the MGB nuke or your highest kill streak equipped. For the first attachment under the rear grip, we are going to be running the X10 grip instead of the Phantom grip. The X10 grip is going to be fantastic on this setup because all we want to do is bump up that sprint to fire speed and the aim down sight speed. We do not want to mess up the flinch with this weapon because we are going to be getting in a little bit more gunfights with this class setup because we're going to be going ahead and pushing the spawns a little bit harder, and we're also going to be going ahead and trying to get behind the enemy team and build up a quick and easy streak. And when that does happen, sometimes you're going to be getting in some close range engagements that flinch can throw you off. So make sure you guys put on the X10 grip when you're building the no recoil setup. Now, for this specific build, we are actually not going to run a stock at all. None of these stocks are going to help us out when building the no recoil M4 class setup, so we're going to skip over this. Now, we are, believe it or not, going to run an optic, and we're going to put on the Cronin Mini Red Dot. This is going to be perfect for taking people out at longer ranges because there's going to be less like haze and less visual recoil when running the Mini Red Dot. That's going to be overall just a lot simpler to take people out at longer ranges. And when trying to go for a nuke or your highest kill streak, simplicity and ease of use is going to be our #1 priority. So make sure you guys go ahead and run the Cronin Mini Red Dot when building the no recoil M4. Now, we are going to skip over the laser as well because none of these attachments are going to help us out and they're kind of useless when building a no recoil setup. But for the barrel, we are going to run a different barrel this time. We're going to run the 419mm EXF barrel on this setup. We're going to rock this because we want to bump up that damage range, hip fire accuracy, as well as bullet velocity. The cons are going to be irrelevant. This is going to be a no recoil build. This is overall going to have us killing people incredibly fast. And the best part about this attachment is it's not going to slow us down like the high tower. So you can still maneuver around the map, you can still flank enemies, you can still get behind the enemy team, and you can overall transition from spot to spot in order to stay alive and get your highest kill streak, or if you're going for it, the MGB nuke. So make sure you guys put on the 419mm EXF barrel when building the no recoil setup. For the muzzle, we are going to be running the Echoless 80. This is going to be a fantastic muzzle to run on the M4 if you are trying to bump up its long range capabilities and be a monster. This is going to give us sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. This is fantastic on this AR because not only are we able to be suppressed so we can flank the enemy team and kill them from behind, we're also going to have bullet velocity and damage range and recoil smoothness, making this weapon even better than it was at those medium to longer ranges. So we're literally going to be tackling all three kind of engagement areas here, and that's why you want to run the Echoless 80 on this weapon. Again, the cons are going to be irrelevant: aim down sight speed, aim stability. We don't really need any of that with this build, so make sure you guys put this on your class setup. Now, for the underbarrel, we are going to be running the Demo IMP 44 grip here again. This is going to be great if you guys are trying to go ahead and have a smooth and very easy to use M4. But if you guys need any more recoil control, the VX Pineapple is also going to be a great option. Both of these are going to be fantastic. It's going to be dependent on if you literally want to have a point and shoot laser, or if you guys want to have a slight, very slight recoil, but at the same time, you are going to sacrifice your hip walking movement speed. It's going to be dependent on what you guys want to give up here. But if you guys want just a point and shoot laser, the VX Pineapple is going to be a great attachment, but the Demo IMP 44 grip is also going to be a good option to run on this weapon. So just for ease of use, we're going to go ahead and put on the VX Pineapple for this class setup. This is the no recoil M4 setup that I highly recommend you guys going ahead and checking out right now. Main setup is going to be the Vel 46 as my secondary. I have an stun grenade, the proximity mine. I'm running the assault package with overkill, scavenger, hardline, and quick fix, as well as the munitions box. And for our third M4 class, we're looking at a run and gun aggressive build. This is gonna be perfect if you guys are trying to change this weapon into an SMG and go crazy. This is a fun build that I recommend you guys using, and it also has very little recoil as well. So we're starting off with the rear grip. The rear grip is gonna be one of the best attachments to run on the M4 if you have not found out already. Now for the run and gun build, we are actually gonna go ahead and run it back with the phantom grip so we can have that sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Again, the cons are going to be irrelevant here. This is going to be needed because we're going to need as much close range combat capability as possible, because we are going to be running and gunning and attacking SMG players with this specific build. So make sure you guys go ahead and run the phantom grip over the X10 when creating this setup. Now for the stock, we are actually going to go ahead and run the demo D50 buffer tube. We're going to rock this because we have a run and gun capability with this. We're going to have aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. We're going to need this because we're going to be rushing, getting behind the enemy team, taking them out from the front, from behind. We're going to be going crazy with this class setup, and the buffer tube is going to be the way to go when building the M4 SMG. So make sure you guys go ahead and throw this on your class setup. Fantastic. We are not going to run an optic here because we don't have any attachment slots available, but at the same time, we don't want to go ahead and slow down the aim down sight speed, because let's be honest here, this is a run and gun aggressive class setup. We need to be as fast as possible. Now for the laser, we're actually going to skip over this as well, believe it or not. The laser attachments really are not that good here. The canted is pretty decent, but at the same time, it's kind of a wasted attachment slot. There's better options available. For the barrel, we are going to be putting on the 11.5 TH4 barrel. This is going to be designed for run and gun players, as we're going to be getting that bump up in aim down sight speed as well as hip recoil control. Damage range and bullet velocity is not going to be important here because, again, this is going to be an M4 SMG that we are going to be running and gunning, and believe it or not, we actually are going to make up with that with a specific attachment under the muzzle category. So we're just going to reap the rewards of having increased aim down sight speed and hip fire recoil control, which is what we need with building an SMG M4 variation. Now for the muzzle, we are going to run the Echoless 80 here. We actually have to run this attachment when building this setup because we need that sound suppression, obviously, to go ahead and flank the enemy team, get behind their spawn, and go crazy. We need that bullet velocity because we lost that with the barrel. We also need that damage range because we lost that with the barrel, and we're also going to bump up that recoil smoothness in order to make this weapon very easy to use. It already has very little recoil. This is going to overall just make the weapon that much easier to control at those longer ranges if you guys get into those engagements. But overall, the Echoless 80 is going to be a mandatory attachment on the M4 SMG, as we need to go ahead and pick up some lost pros we did lose with that barrel. And then for the underbarrel, we are going to go ahead and put on the VX Pineapple here. This is going to be a great attachment to run on this specific loadout because we are going to be running and gunning, and we do need some hip fire recoil control, hip fire accuracy, and recoil steadiness, as well as aim walking steadiness. Just overall a great attachment when running and gunning. It's going to help us out literally at close range, medium range, as well as long range, and it just fits the bill with a run and gun SMG build that we have here for the M4. So definitely go ahead and give this a try if you guys are trying to build an aggressive M4 setup that literally can do it all and outgun SMG players. The remainder of the build, again, is going to be the Vel 46. I don't really have any attachments here. I run this on literally all of my guns. I just have on the EXF Soul Flare. I have on the Lockman Dart 165, as well as the VX Pineapple. But again, for the tactical stun grenade proximity mine, I am still running the assault package with overkill scavenger, hardline, and quick fix. And then finally, the munitions box. Definitely a solid class setup you guys should check out right now as well. These are going to be the top 3 best M4 class setups you can use right now here in Modern Warfare 2 all in one video. So if this video does help you guys out and you use any of these class setups and drop your highest kills, your first nuke, or just an amazing gameplay, let me know down in the comment section below, and make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.